Yo, what's up? It's your boy again, once again. I don't know if y'all were checking me, but in my last video, I was talking about how I just checked in at the Best Western over in Hammond, Indiana. And, the terminal for the company, I won't say the name, but the company was in Gary, Indiana. Well, I got in and I've been doing my thing for a few weeks, but I will say I felt misguided, but I screwed up to a lot of that is on me. Now, I was told that if you could pass the permit test, the truck driving is easy. The permit test is the hardest part. The permit test is the hardest part. That is the hardest part. If you could do that, you could make it. You could get the truck driving part. That's going to be easy. Do not believe that, all right? Do not believe that. That is a load of bullshit. I try not to cuss on here, but I just got to tell it how it is. That's a load of bullshit. The permit test is the easy part. Once you pass that permit test, the easy stuff is over. You're going to have to bust your ass. You're going to have to work hard. It just is what it is. But, I got there and I started doing my thing. They got us on we got the paperwork out the way the first day, and then they were paying us. I won't say the name of the company because I do not blame the company for what happened. I don't blame the company at all. I really don't. It's partially the way the training program is set up, partially the way trainers keep getting pulled and it's like a rotation. You have to come. I'll get to it, but I don't. But I do hope to come back once I get my CDL and come back and work for this company. So it is what it is. Now I got there. We did the classroom stuff the first day, and after the classroom stuff, we went out to. Where was it that we went out? We went out to the yard, started practicing in trucks, getting a little experience, and we started the straight back maneuver. And you would think, hey, just go straight back, it won't do anything. Well, when you got a trailer that's secured by just one pin, and they don't give us new trucks. These trucks need an alignment. These are the training trucks. They need an alignment. So if it's like the truck, let's say this little circle right here is what's on the truck. This is the pin, and you're pushing it back. It's not going to go straight back. It's going to wiggle around a little bit. So it's not going to be perfectly straight because it's just a pin that's being, like the trailer has one pin, and that's kind of dragging. So when you push back, it's not going to go straight back. But it's pretty easy to correct. Like if you're driving and you're looking in your mirrors, like you should always hold on just a second. All right, my bad. But all you do to correct it is like when you're going back and you're looking at your mirrors and you see the trailer kind of veer off to the right, you see more of it in your right mirror, you turn towards the problem. So if the problem is going to the right, you turn your wheel slightly to the right. Like if this is the top of the wheel, you don't want to turn no more than that. Turn like this, turn like this. We learned about the lag time, how long it takes before the trailer actually starts to turn. If you want the wheels to go to the right, you turn your wheel to the left. You want your trailer to go to the right. When you're backing, you turn your wheels to the left. It's like that. So I got the straight back. I ain't gonna lie, it took me 2 days because I was overcorrecting. But once I figured it out and figured out how to make the little slight subtle connections, it went smooth. It was cool. So I was good there. Next thing, we learned the offset back. And on the offset backing, I'm not gonna lie, I struggled. See if this makes things look better. I struggled on the offset back because on the offset back, let's say this is a lane, this is a lane, the truck is in this lane. You pull up and you back into the lane like this. Now in the car, that's super simple. Just and back into it. In the truck, they taught us a certain method. You catch a 45, you put your arm out here, you put your arm out there, and you catch a 45-degree angle right there. You turn your wheel, like if you're going to the right, you turn your wheel one rotation to the left, and you back until you are dead center. You're like the center of your chest is with that 45-degree angle that you picked out. Then you turn the wheel hard right, and that'll get your your truck back in front of the trailer to straighten out. And then you back and you look back and you see which way you gotta turn it and you kind of ease on in there. Well, this is a 4-week program, right? I didn't get that. I fell behind on that. I did not get the trailer, the offset backing until the first day of the 3rd week. Yeah, that was the first week skill we should have got. I didn't nail it without assistance. They always taught me in, like, here, let's go do it like this, do it like this. And I needed to be taught through it. I wasn't catching on quickly with that, which is strange for me because basically all my life, I caught on to things quickly. That's just how I always been. But I didn't. Hold on. Alright, let me sit down a bit and finish talking to y'all. So I didn't catch on. Usually I catch on to things pretty quickly. I tend to be naturally perspicacious. However, my perspicaciousness decided to be a little lackadaisical during this, but it's all good because I got experience. I didn't master that until like the first Monday or Tuesday of the 3rd week. 3rd week I'm supposed to just be fine-tuning little skills. You know what I mean? Well, I went out driving. Now, the one thing I don't like about this program is I barely got any drive time. I looked at my driver log and I got maybe, and that includes the last 45 minutes that I was driving, I got 2 hours worth of drive time the entire 3 weeks that I was there. 2 hours worth of drive time. Like, who does that? 2 hours. What am I gonna do with 2 hours worth of drive time, right? First couple times I did okay, but I struggled with shifting. You know what I mean? I got better at it, but I struggled with it a bit. And trying to adapt to multiple teaching styles because all these instructors kept saying something different. It's generally the same, but they kept saying something different. And my main instructor was a good guy, all right? I'm not gonna bash this man. This man been cool to me. We cracked a bunch of jokes because he a little short guy. So we cracked jokes at each other. He made fat jokes, I made short jokes. I called him the company limbo champion. We were on there on a Saturday. I said, he's trying to hurry up because he got to get to his second job. He's like, I ain't got no second. I said, bro, you do got a second job. He's like, what? I said, you got to get to that tux fitting so you can get fitted. So you can stand on top of that wedding cake this weekend. You know what I mean? We crack jokes. Like I was saying stuff like, what was your first car? Was it a Hot Wheels or a Micro Machine? Stuff like that. He was a little guy, the company limbo champion. But, it was all in fun. There was no animosity, no vitriol with our statements. It was just jokes. It was just us, just men joking. But I was learning from this man when he was there, which is why I say it's not his fault, because he was in fact the lead instructor. And as the lead instructor, he was always getting pulled for this. He was getting pulled for that. He was getting pulled for that. You know what I mean? He was getting pulled more than a dude that hired a prostitute. So he wasn't able to be there with us all the time. A lot of times we were just in the lot, just chilling. Early in the morning is about an hour before we actually see our instructor, because they keep calling him into meetings. When he's there, the time is quality, but he keeps getting called into meetings. Norman was another instructor. He had his crew. Norman's crew, they went out on the road pretty much every day. All right. They weren't trying to, how can I say this? They weren't trying to be stuck out just doing backing maneuvers. They were out doing their thing every single day. They were out driving. Their team got more drive times than any of ours, like any on my squad. Well, on my squad, remember I told y'all about the roommate that I said was pretty cool? Well, I found out otherwise. He was not too far from me out in Griffin, Georgia. His name was, well, I ain't gonna say his name. I'll just say his initials are WM. All right. He, we were getting along. He would take me to Walmart because he drove up here. We both came from Georgia, but he drove up here. And he would come by, and I bought him dinner one time because we were both going to get some pizza, and he was telling me how good this place pizza is. So I was like, all right, cool. I got you, man. I got you. You drove over here. You've been driving me to Walmart, driving me back and forth to work. I got you. Dinner's yours, my man. And, we were getting along pretty well. But then I'm not going to say what happened, but it wasn't a bad situation. We were still cordial and we were still getting along, but we ended up in different rooms. They got him a new room, got me a new room. So, it is what it is. So we were there, and it was this fat ass redneck named Richard Earl Bledsoe, 42 or 43. I forgot. I got to look at the record again. Oh yeah, I got all this information. But you can look at this dude and tell he's a big redneck. Not just the Confederate flag. That's bad enough. Like, a racist when they start rocking that Confederate flag. Period. They try to disguise it. It's not about race. It's not about race. It's not about race. Nah, you lost. Get over it. But this guy, like, when I first saw him, I was like, oh, that's a redneck. But I was like, you know what? Let me not judge this man, because some people look at me and they see this right here, this skin, and say, oh, he's a thug. But I'm not. I'm far from a thug. I'm not some little criminal. So I don't want to do the same thing. It would be hypocritical of me to talk about somebody badmouthing me. But since he decided, since I made that decision, I was like, I'm not going to judge this man. So I spoke to him. He cracked a few jokes. We cracked a few jokes. And things seemed a little different. But then he started talking about his Trump. He started talking about how he backs Trump. And he was like, he's not politically correct, but he's everything this country needs. And I'm like, really? And I was like, yep, he's starting to show his colors, because we all know about Trump. But I'm not going to get too political on this. But then he tried to say, poor people are poor people because they choose to be poor. Well, it's like, I kind of see what he means, because on one hand, some people don't make the choice to don't make the choice to get out of a situation, but it's because they don't know they have a choice. If all you see is one thing and one type of person that makes it, you'll be thinking, yeah, that's how I get out of here. But a lot of people just don't know about what all choices they have. But I digress from that point. Well, he then said, one point I forgot what it was. I get mad. I'm a trainer. I get mad. People can put all sorts of isms on me, and I was like, keep telling on yourself. But his racist masterpiece, his magnum opus, if you will. He said he's sitting in class. I guess he's kind of hard of hearing, because he had his phone to his ear. He didn't have it on speakerphone, just a regular call. He was talking to his wife, his fourth wife. Wonder why he can't keep a woman. But anyway, I digress. He's talking to his fourth wife, and she asked him to say, you got a roommate? He said, yeah, I got one. Is he a white fella? He said, of course, I wouldn't have nothing else. So She said, yeah, I know how you feel about them about certain folks. them coloreds mainly. And he says, yeah, I like a few of them. It's a couple of them here I kind of like because they're not all crazy liberal. They don't talk that liberal craziness. But it's a couple of them I like. But as a whole, nah, I don't. I don't. She's like, yeah, I know. So I'm like, yep, there it is, straight out the horse's mouth. But I had my headphones on, so he didn't know that I was listening because he looked over at me, and I just kept acting like I was listening to music, just chilling. But he didn't know I was ear hustling. I was ear hustling hard, real hard. So after I heard that, I knew where I stood. I knew he'll, put on his face and he'll pretend what he needs to. But when it all comes down to it, I know where he stands. He's not, he's with his own people. Well, my roommate was kind of cool with them because I guess they're both Southern boys, Southern white guys. It is what it is. I didn't think my roommate was racist because of that, because my roommate hadn't done anything racist at that point. Well, one day we were falling behind, and Richard, fat redneck, kept making little comments like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you trying to get this, you need to do this, you gonna fail that pre-trip, you need to do this, or you gonna fail that pre-trip. So we did the pre-trip inspection, and the pre-trip inspection for y'all non-truckers that are listening is basically where we go through, matter of fact, let me show you better than I can tell you. I would have showed you my driving logs and shown you how I only got like 2 hours worth of driving time, but it has the company's name on it. And I'm not trying to slander, well, it isn't slander if it's true. You can't slander something telling the truth, but I don't want to paint the company in a bad light because I actually do want to go back. But anyway, let me make sure nothing here has the company stuff on it. Like this right here. We have to do an inspection every day before we start the truck. All right. And this has multiple pages, front and back, but we have to inspect, like, it's over 100 parts of the truck. We have to, like, if it's a rubber part, we have to say no abrasions, bulges, cuts, dry rots, frays. It's not leaking. It's not corroded if it's an electrical part. If it's a metal part, I don't have my CDL yet. I'm working. That's what I'm getting to. I'm struggling with it, but yeah, I don't have my CDL after this situation. But anyway, the pre-trip inspection, he was like, "You gonna fail this pre-trip? You gonna fail this pre-trip? Cause you ain't studying. You ain't studying." Now, a lot of people that know me knows my brain works differently. My brain is weird. I don't study. Every time, it should be a link or something that says subscribe. Just go ahead and click it. But I'm not, as far as my training now, I was in Gary, Indiana, but I'm gonna go to another location because I got let go from this one, but I'm getting there. So I got my they gave me a pre-CDL inspection on pre-trip, and you're allowed to miss 13 and pass. Found out that fat redneck bastard got he missed like 30, and he'd been studying. I missed 3, but he came at me a little viciously once, and he said some really foul things like, "You're the one, you're the problem, you're this and you're that, you didn't this and you didn't this, and you're this and you're that. There's nothing wrong with the problem." But 5 minutes ago in the truck, he and my roommate were all saying how there's not enough drive time. We do not get enough time to drive on the street in these trucks. But then when the professor comes around, he becomes the kiss ass and he won't admit it. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. But then he said something to me, and he was like, "Maybe you just dumb," something like that. 5 times. Wow. Man, keep up with it. You keep at it, you'll get it, man. Don't sweat it. You'll get it, because I'm definitely about to. It will work out. So guy came to me all vicious, and I started to come at him. He said, "Look here, boy. Don't cross that line right there. Don't cross that line. You cross that line, I'm gonna put you down, boy. I'm gonna put you down." And I'm like, okay. So I will defend my life. That's your only warning, boy. I'll put you down, boy. I was like, okay. So now you just threaten my fucking life. Had this been in Atlanta, where I would have been strapped, I would have put your punk ass down. But in a whole nother state, I had to pass through Illinois, so I couldn't have my weapon with me. Okay. I fell back. My trainer said, and I won't say his name, that shit's dead. Let that shit go. All right, let it go. I'm like, what? He said, that shit's dead. Because if I report him, I got to report you. He said, if I report him, I got to report you because you threatened him back. And I said, fine. And they said, you will get put out and you will owe this $7,000 because it'll be failure to execute. It was something, a violation of violence policy. I said, all right, cool. I'm going to fall back. So I fell back. I let him have that. But I no longer felt comfortable. Every time he was around, I felt weird. So I rolled back to my room, to the hotel with my roommate. He gets to the door. Hey, man, this is nothing personal. After the events of today, you're going to have to find your own ride to work and back. I can't be seen as taking sides either way. And I'm like, taking sides? Because you gave me... I said, fine. He said, I just don't want nothing to do with it. I want to stay out of it. So he, I said, okay. So I'm waiting for the shuttle the next morning. Somebody else took me. Get to the job, and dude is all up in that fat redneck's face, laughing and joking with him. And then he sees me, he turns. He wouldn't say two words to me. So I'm like, I thought you didn't want to take sides. It's not that you didn't want to take sides, it's that you drew a line in the sand, and I see where I stand, but you didn't want to take my side. And that's all it is. You didn't want to take my side. That was the problem. So, I'm a grown man. I'm not going to sit there and cry about it. I just see what it is. It is what it is. You didn't want to be, you didn't want to rock with me. So, no biggie. It's over. Done. So I let that go. And, I got a ride from somebody else who was heading over there. But on the way back, we came to a gas station. He stands out. He looks at me. And when he looked at me, he just turned his head and walked off. Yeah, I'm looking into either PAM Transport or Schneider. Those are going to be the next companies I look towards. And I just want to go there, do my year, and then come back to this particular. I'm not saying the name of the company, so I know you know the name of the company, but don't say it out loud. Don't say the name of the company out loud because I don't want to put any negative press on the name of the company, I want to separate that. But the next day I reported the situation. Well, I reported it the same day, but the next day they called me in, said, hey, this person wants to speak to you in the office. I said, okay. I went. Said, grab all your things and go meet him. And that's when they told me, hey, we got to let you go. You, not because you're a bad person. It's like, if you can get your CDL, we welcome you to come back. We want you to come back if you get your CDL. I said, yeah, I want to come back. That's the whole reason I came. Well, he said, what we can do is we can get you a quote on a bus ticket with Greyhound. It'll be $275 and it'll be deducted. There's a little mission to join. Pam is going to be low pay, but they might take you. Schneider are the big boys. Yeah, it's a risk, but I got to do something. I got to get a CDL, period. But, yeah, they said it'll be deducted from your pay. And as far as the rest of the weeks, because they were paying $500 a week while you train for your CDL. I got my first pay. And after that first pay, basically, it was frustrating. But they told me that since I'm no longer in the program and my agreement is over, I'm actually going to receive my state's minimum wage for every hour that I worked. and they were going to deduct that 275 bus ticket. I said, hold on, let me do a little searching. So I did a little searching, and I found the plane ticket with Delta for way cheaper than 275, right? And right now it's just one person here for now. I'm still a small channel trying to grow, but follow my journey in trucking. That's all I like to say. But I found my own transportation. I ended up finding a ticket with Delta for way cheaper than 275, but it doesn't leave until Sunday morning. So I just paid for another couple nights in another hotel that's cheaper, and I'm just gonna go home, get back to my family. But that's where I'm at in trucking. So right now I'm looking at getting on with Schneider, Pam. Everybody tells me to stay away from Swift. What's wrong with Swift? That's what I want to know. But I know to stay away from CR England. I don't know what the CR stands for, but matter of fact, it's probably because really every new guy leaves after 90 days. That's what they tell me CR England stands for. CR is because really every new guy leaves after 90 days. CR England. And I found out why, because that roommate that I thought was, a decent human being, which turned out to be just another redneck asshole, he prior to this program, he trained with CR England. He was about to go get his CDL, but because he read the employment contract, he insisted on seeing the employment contract. And when he read that contract, he had to work for them for so long, and he would only be paid 12 cents per mile. 12 cents per. Who's gonna work for 12 cents per mile? Seriously, who is gonna work for 12 cents per mile? So he left, and he came over here. CR England is a definite no. I don't care how bad I get. I'm not working for 12 cents a mile. All right. But I'm going to try every other company out there. Anything that's paying something decent, I'm going to go through their CDL. Yeah, I got to get my feet wet, but at the same time, I'm trying to get my feet wet. I'm not trying to get raped. 12 cents a mile is insane. Especially when the company I was just with, I almost said the name. I'm trying not to say their name, but the company I was just with offered me 42.5 cents per mile. That was pretty good to me. Some companies offering 38 to 39, but 12 cents a mile. I'm not doing that. They're like, oh, well, we're team drivers. Yeah, I have an email. Give me just a second. Matter of fact, I will comment with my email as soon as I'm done. All right. Thank you, CeeLos. I appreciate that. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm gonna leave a comment with my email. All right. But basically that's where I'm at. I'm just looking for the next company because anybody knows me knows I don't give up. I done mastered offset backing. I got parallel parking. I need to fine tune it. But the way I figure, my next company is where I'm getting my CDL because I've mastered everything. Well, not mastered, but I need to fine tune a couple things. But I'm going to master everything, and I've already got experience doing this. So it's all good. But, yeah, I'm heading back home. I'm about to do some heavy duty Ubering when I get there because I got to get some money. You know what I mean? Babies don't care. Daddy ain't got money. It don't matter. They need. So I got to get back on my grind. I appreciate you all taking the time for listening to what happened with me. But this is the first time in my life I've ever been happy to be fired from a job because if I would have quit, they would have charged me $7,000 for CDL tuition. Yep. But because they let me go, the agreement has been dissolved. I'm free to go. I'm a free man, so I'm gonna check on another couple of companies, and I appreciate you, Los, for letting me know what's up. But with that said, I'd like to thank y'all for taking the time. Thank you for checking me out. Y'all have a good day, and I hope y'all make that money.